Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, all praises and double honors due to Yahweh by Hashem HaMashiach, Rabbi like Yahweh Shai. Secondly, this is Brother Yardan, WFI Detroit, coming back at you with yet another cold cut. Today in this cold cut is going to be a quick cold cut, proving that the Most High hates the so-called white man. Right? Now, I say so-called white man because nobody on God's green earth is the color of this table. Nobody's white. You understand? So we use the term so-called white man. Now his biblical nationality is Esau, right? The Edomites. But check this, the Most High doesn't only hate the Edomites, he hates the so-called Arabics, Chinese, Japanese, East Indian man. The Most High does not love these nations, okay? Now for those who may be asking and wondering, well, what does it say that in the Bible that the Most High hates the Arabic man, that he hates the so-called white man? All right. First, understand that the Most High does not have to say it in a way that you can understand. All right. Let's get a precept. This is Proverbs 13:24. He that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chasteneth him best times. All right. So bear with me. Now this is plain upon tables. So if you spare the rod from your son, right, when he does something wicked or worthy of punishment, you hate him because you don't want to correct him. You understand? It's in a similar fashion, if I see my brother in sin, I'm going to rebuke him because I love him. However, if I do not rebuke him, then that's me showing my disdain and my hatred towards him. And for him, really, right? This is Leviticus 19:17. I'm going to prove it. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart, right? Plain upon tables. So how do you not hate your brother in your heart? You what? Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. So if you have a child and you spare the rod from him, hey, you're suffering sin upon him. You're going to let him continue his folly and his mischief. You understand? So let's read the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 5. And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. Verse 6. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourges every son whom he receiveth. All right, is everybody received of the Lord? La'ah, that's no in the ancient Hebrew. Verse 7, if ye endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? Right? Verse 8, but if ye be without chastisement whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. So now you have to ask yourself this question. Which people are going through hell on earth? Which people are being chastised, are going through tribulation and poverty? Don't tell me the so-called white man. Don't tell me it's the so-called white man. Don't tell me it's damn Chuck that's living in a trailer. Hey, we talking about nations, right? Not individuals. Nation-wise, who's being chastised? It's the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It's plain upon tables, right? I don't need to pull out a list of statistics and graphs and charts and pie graphs and damn grids that prove to you that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are going through hell in America. You understand? We don't have any privilege. The so-called white man, he has privilege. He can move to and fro throughout this earth, as does his father Satan. So that's a precept to let you know that the Most High is not dealing with these heathen. He does not love them. Because if you love someone, you're going to chastise and rebuke them. Let's get another precept in the book of Sirach 30. Verse 13. Now 9 on down is beautiful, but let's get verse 13. Chastise thy son and hold him to labor, lest his lewd behavior be an offense unto thee. Did not the Lord chastise Israel throughout the Bible? You understand? Is the so-called Jewish man being chastised? La'ah. He gets about a damn $1 billion a year. In what? In reparations from America. So there's no way in the world that he's being chastised. How does the so-called white man fit Haggai 1 and 6? Let's pull it real quick. Let's read this and let's see if this matches the so-called white man's history in America. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. Show me which nation on earth fits this other than the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You won't be able to do it. And if you tell me anybody outside of so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, I'm gonna call you a liar, and I'm gonna rebuke you. All right. Let's get Psalm 72 and 4. You have to understand, the more you read the Bible, the more you understand that this does not, how do I put it? Not everybody can relate to this book. You understand? Every book in this world is made for a certain demographic, for a certain audience. You understand? Whether it be a certain biography book, mystery book, historical book, it's all made for a certain demographic at the end of the day. This book is made for Israel, Yasharallah. Let's read Psalm 72 and 4. He shall judge the poor of the people. He shall save the children of the needy, and shall break in pieces the oppressor. Ask your neighbor, ask your best friend Tom, who's oppressing the so-called blacks and Americans. It's like it, blacks, so-called African Americans, Hispanic. Who's oppressing those people, those minority? The so-called white man, the goddamn devil, right? He's the oppressor, and we're the oppressed. You can't have the oppressed. It's like you can't have two oppressors, right? In every society, there's an oppressed and the oppressor. In this society, the oppressed is the nation of Israel. And the Lord said he's going to break in pieces the oppressor. So how is the Lord coming back for everyone? But this is, again, a quick cold cut, right? Quick precepts, quick points to prove that the Lord is not dealing with all these nations on the right-hand side, right? This is 1 Esdras 1 and 44. Not that. Wisdom of Solomon 10 and 10. Oh, Salakia. I went in additions to Esther 10 and 9. Ooh, you see this? Let's get 8. And the nations were assembled to destroy the name of the Jews. And my nation is this Israel, which cried to God and were saved, for the Lord hath saved his people, and the Lord hath delivered us from all those evils, and God hath wrought signs and great wonders which have not been done amongst the Gentiles. So the Lord is not performing his miracles and his wonders in the midst of the Gentiles. He didn't come down to Rahab the harlot and kind of say, look, check this out, I'm going to do this miracle. The Lord didn't do that. Verse 10, therefore he hath made 2 lots. A lot is your end, right? That's your destiny, for lack of better words. He made 2 lots, one for the people of God and another for the Gentiles. And those 2 lots came at the hour at time, 12 o'clock, and the day of judgment for God amongst all nations. So God remembered his people and justified his inheritance. I'll close it out with Matthew 25 and 32. And it reads, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on his left. The goats are referring to the other nations. The sheep is Israel, right? That's Habakkuk 2 and 10. That's Jeremiah 50 and 6. That's 2 Esdras 5 and 25 on down, right? The Lord's favorite animal is the sheep, and he likened Israel unto a sheep because we're lowly, meek, and humble. Right? Even the Lord, our Lord Yahweh Shai, who gave up his life for Yasharallah, he's referred to as a lamb. Right? In the book of Revelation, the 17th chapter. Verse 33. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. See that? So the Lord is only dealing with the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. You understand? I had to close out with this for real. Malachi 1 and 3. I hated Esau. The Lord hates and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. With that, I'm going to bid Azor Shalom. I provide to tell you've been edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Washai. Quick Kohul Cup, Brother Yardan, WFI Detroit. Shalom.